So I found the sample again. We're back at the sample. So to acquire a filtered image, now that we've tuned the GIF, all that we really need to do is insert the slit. So the most sensible way for us to do filtered imaging would be to use one of the EFTEM techniques. So let's go to the EFTEM techniques. So I'm going to exit the TEM imaging technique, and I'm going to go into EFTEM map. And I'm going to restart the view. So I'm still doing my fairly fast exposure time, 10.6 milliseconds. And now you can see that we have this palette here called filter state. In filter state, the unfiltered button is blue, which means that we're not filtered. So as soon as I choose something else, so for example, if I click on this button that says ZLP, what happens there is the energy selecting slit is inserted. The preset for ZLP is for zero loss filtering. So we have a 10 EV slit that's centered at 0. So 0 plus minus 5 EV. You can see that the contrast straight away was enhanced. That's because we're enhancing elastic scattering contrast. So we're enhancing the diffraction contrast here and throwing out any inelastic scattering. Okay, so I could capture an image. So instead of just having the view, if I click on this little triangle here to expand the camera palette a little, then we see the capture button. So I'm going to make a 1 second capture. And then you see that that capture image gets placed in its own workspace. So anytime that we capture data, it gets put in a new workspace with named with the kind of the root name of the technique that we use to acquire the image. So it's kind of a camera image is going to go into something called TEM. Okay, so let's go back to the live view and look at Plasmon. So if I click on Plasmon, the preset here is a 25 EV energy loss and a much narrower slit, so 5 EV. So this is plus minus 2.5 EV centered at 25. And immediately the image looks much, much different. So we have black in vacuum, and we have kind of bright contrast in the sample. That makes sense. So we have no scattering in vacuum, and we have scattering in the material. So we're really kind of looking at the plasmon region here. So let's go ahead and capture another 1 second TEM image. Also in the same workspace, and you can see them side by side. So that's really the introduction to filtered imaging.